Day and welcome to our Christmas edition of My Story. In this episode, we get the rare opportunity to interview a beautiful little girl battling an extremely rare form of leukemia. We even had the chance to participate in a bone marrow drive in her honor. And now we're just hoping to find a match. When we come back, we'll introduce you to 10-year-old Samantha Serbin and her mom, Marie Jo Frianeza, who tells us about her daughter's year-long battle for survival. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 10-year-old Samantha Serbin and her mom, Marie Jo Frianeza, are currently in Los Angeles so that Samantha can receive treatment while she waits for a bone marrow match. We met Samantha and her mom via Skype. Here they are. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Janella. I'm a news reporter in Guam. And I know that you're going to be having a bone marrow drive for you here. I think it's tomorrow already.
Yeah, can you kind of hear her?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just bringing it up a little closer, only because the volume's so low.
Sure. Sorry. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Samantha.
Yeah, you. Could start like your age,
I'm 10 and
your school.
I go to St. John's. And
Do you have a brother?
I have one brother.
Oh.
And
Do you miss everybody?
and I miss everybody on Guam and at my school.
How long have you how long has it been since you guys have been back home?
It's going to be a year in exactly 8 days.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you must really miss your friends.
All her friends.
Yeah, I miss everyone at school.
Yeah.
So tell us, you know, I know that there's a big event that's going to happen for you here in Guam soon. Tell us about it and you know, what it is for.
Do you know what's happening tomorrow? Tomorrow in Guam? What's happening at St. John's?
That's okay.
Oh, there's a bone marrow drive?
The bone marrow drive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell us about, you know, what you are, like what life is like out there right now for you. Like, what are you guys doing, you know?
Right.
Oh gosh, you know what? This has been our life for a year.
It's cold outside right now.
It's cold. It's winter, so it's very cold. Can't wear, well, at least for me, I can't wear sandals. But we've been in and out of the hospital. So when we arrived, she was hospitalized for 4 months, and then they discharged us as outpatient. But we had to come to the hospital virtually every week for chemotherapy, for blood transfusions. Anytime she was sick or had a fever, I had to come back to the hospital. Lots of driving. Everything takes an hour in LA.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to stay at the Ronald McDonald Housing Facility, but unfortunately it was an hour from the hospital. So she relapsed about a month ago, and so we're back in the hospital again. So it's just been a year of in and out hospital stays.
If you don't mind me asking, so I know it's a rare type of leukemia that she has, right? If you can explain, like, you know, what the doctors have said, and I know a bone marrow match would be like the best thing and you know, would help right now. So like, what is it that the doctors have said about her condition?
You know, that is a great question because it is such a rare type of leukemia. In fact, she has an adult leukemia.
Wow.
So in what they have in their literature, there have only been 25 diagnosed cases.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And out of those 25, only 9 were children. So
Wow.
Samantha would mark the 10th child
Yeah.
really diagnosed with this. And it kind of just stops there because there really aren't any true treatment plans. It is such a rare type of leukemia. So really, what they are giving her, what they're medicating her with, are the best kinds of leukemia treatment plans they have.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
just trying to find what works for her.
Yeah.
Um, and so a lot of what we're doing now in the hospital is waiting because her body right now has to recover. So her body, sorry, we're in the middle of an interview. It's okay. So she's in recovery mode, and these are good days.
That's good.
Her sitting up and wanting to interview and having enough energy. We're grateful for. So
Oh,
that's why we're like, yes, we'll do it, so
oh my
people can
God,
see
I'm
her.
so grateful for this
Yeah,
opportunity, like to meet
yes.
you, Samantha. I mean, I have to tell you, Samantha, like here in Guam, everyone is rooting for you. Everyone loves you. They know your story and, they want to just help you out. So,
Can I just tell you how that means so much to us? Like we talk so much how much we love Guam
yeah,
and how much we miss Guam, and this is the very reason. This is
yeah,
the community, people coming out
exactly.
together
Coming
for a great
together.
cause, and we are so grateful that Dr. Shea even connected us. He was like, Janella's a patient of mine. She's a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
And I want you, she wants to do a little interview. And I thought that's really great, getting the word out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also just getting everyone aware, creating this awareness on childhood cancer.
Yeah, because I'm
Um,
sure you're aware, just not too long ago, Dr. Shea actually organized another bone marrow drive. Yeah, and so I mean, whenever things like this, especially when it comes to children, like our community is just, they rally behind, our
they
our
really
kids.
do. And we are just so grateful. And we feel that love and we feel that support. And, really, it's those messages of hope that keep us going.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that?
Samantha.
Oh, you know what she just said? She goes, Mom, I miss Chamorro Village.
Oh.
I know. We really miss
Oh,
local food.
I'm sure
It's
soon
been
you'll be
here.
able to come home and enjoy all the things that you've been missing. So,
So
yeah.
we still have a long journey. Um, we have a really long journey ahead of us.
Yeah.
Like I had mentioned in another interview, leukemia treatments are 2.5 to 3 years in length.
Wow.
and so we weren't there yet, and so unfortunately she did relapse. So here we are starting all over, but she's such a warrior,
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah. You can tell. I
she
mean,
is fighting every step of the way. And yes, so the next course of action is a bone marrow transplant.
have the doctors said what the prognosis is as far as her treatment now, with or without bone marrow? Like, because you mentioned she relapsed, so she recovered and then relapsed. So, is there a good chance for her recovery now too?
Well, great question. It's kind of one of those things. We were hopeful every month that she wasn't taking any steps back and we were progressing. So essentially, we are starting all over again. They've had to give her new medication because obviously everything she had in the last 10 months has been negated.
Mm,
And it's like you're cleaning out her bone marrow. This
yeah.
is what they're doing. They're eradicating all the cells and they're going to harvest new bone marrow
That's why she
and put
needs the
it
transplant.
correct,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
they want to get rid of everything. But the bone marrow transplant is an even harder process. It's a lengthier recovery time,
Yeah. Oh.
and there's just higher risk of infection. So it's going to be an even tougher time for us. So
Yeah.
we're preparing for that, but we know we're going to get through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Mom, I mean, listening to you and seeing you, like, how positive you are, it's very encouraging, and I truly admire
You,
your spirit. How are you doing? You and your family, how are you guys doing
thank
through all
you.
this?
I'm going to say this, and it's not lip service. The love that we have from back home, and Guam was our home for 4 years. The love that we have from family, friends, her school at large. I have to really give a big shout out to St. John's. St. John's has been a second family, and they are watching my younger son. My younger son's still attending school there as his sister's here, and
Yeah, we had him in
we've had
studio for an interview just the other day, so yeah.
yes, we've just have nothing. We've had nothing but love and support, and I have to tell you that's what keeps us going every single day. Family, friends, the community at large, people who care. Um, and so we feel really blessed by that. So that those positive vibes really just keep us going.
That's great. Well, Samantha, is there anything you'd like to say, like to your friends, to your family, to
What do you want to say to
yeah, anything you want
everyone?
to say at all?
Anything. Say it.
Hi, Michelle. And Merry Christmas
Aw.
and
Aw.
Happy New Year. I think that's
You think that's it? Okay. Well, that's
Okay.
that's a lot for her too. She was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a little bit nervous, and she has been very tired. She gets transfusions quite a bit.
Oh,
So, like I said, you really caught her on a great day, and I'm so
yeah.
glad she was able to wish everyone back home a Merry Christmas and a
Yeah.
Happy New Year. And thank you, everyone, especially Dr. Shea for spearheading this bone marrow drive, and all our loved ones for supporting not only her, really, but for anyone, all the children that'll be in need of a bone marrow transplant.
Yeah, because I mean, the drive will also create a registry for others who may need it.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, well, but you know what? Thank you so much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate that
Thank
you made time for
you.
this. And
Thank you
Samantha,
so much.
you're very
What do you want to
strong
say?
and beautiful, and you're gonna get through this, and we're all behind you, and we love you, and we're praying for you. So,
all.
you're gonna be okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for like inviting us to speak with you and for your time. And thank you again, Guam. God bless everyone.
All right. Thanks, Marie. I appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Janella.
Let me know
Take
if there's
care.
anything you need at all.
Oh gosh, I always ask people for pickled papaya. No one can get it to me. Not one person. Thank
We'll see what
you.
we can do.
All right. Take
All right.
care.
Take care.
Get lucky.
Thanks. Bye. Thank you again to Samantha and her mom, Marie Jo, for taking time out to sit down and chat with us. We know how precious your time is and how rare it is to be able to meet Samantha during this difficult time. So we are so grateful that we had this opportunity. All right, well, we will go to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll show you how simple and easy it is to register as a bone marrow donor. Welcome back to my story. Well, the day after I interviewed Samantha and her mom, a bone marrow drive was held in her name with the hopes of finding a match for Samantha and others who are also still looking for a match as well. The drive was held at St. John's School Gym, the school where Samantha was attending before she had to leave for treatment in California. Here's more. Most of the time when Guam Medical Association President Dr. Tom Shea holds bone marrow drives, I find myself caught up in so much work that it's hard for me to break away to register as a possible match. Like many of you, I had many questions and even some misconceptions about what being a bone marrow donor means. Is it anything like donating blood? That could take so long. What if I'm sick with the flu? Can I still donate? And if I happen to be a match in the future, wouldn't it hurt like hell to have bone marrow removed from my body? That's what I see in the movies. The answer to many of these questions is a simple and resounding no. No blood is taken, it doesn't take long, and it will not hurt to donate bone marrow if you're ever chosen as a match. It's a huge decision to make, sure, but it's also very much worth it. I had my hesitations, but until I decided to go and see for myself, I could never know. So I did. I went, with my children in tow as well. I walked in. The atmosphere was relaxed. There weren't any long lines, and the hours were pretty convenient. It was up until 8 p.m., which means I could go right after work. There was a seat immediately open for me. I filled out a questionnaire, which is actually the longest part of the process. Most of the questions were just repeats and made to ensure that I would be willing to donate in the event I'm chosen as a match. I was told by Dr. Shea that the chances of turning out to be a match is actually extremely rare. But in the event I am a match, it's not set in stone. It's not like I've signed my life away. Although you sign documents indicating that you are committed to donating bone marrow if chosen, it's not a contract on your life. If you decide you can't do it for whatever reason, although it's discouraged, you can still change your mind. It is a huge decision, and for the most part, the questionnaire just focused on ensuring you knew exactly what you were getting into. After completing the questionnaire, we move on to another section where we sign off on more documents. It's not much, but it's still a necessary part of the process. Finally, we go to a third section. This is where we see some action. There are no needles or syringes, it's just a handful of harmless little Q-tips, 4 to be exact. And that's it. My kids are treated to some cookies and sandwiches. We take a couple pictures with the organizers and generous volunteers of the bone marrow drive, and my kids and I are on our way. I'm not only glad that I registered to be a match, but that my children got to witness their mother do something good for our community, and hopefully that means I've set a good example for them to follow, helping others when they're old enough to register as well. See, it wasn't difficult at all. No pain, just a few signatures and some swabs of your cheek, and you're on your merry way. The icing on top is knowing you've done a good and potentially life-saving deed. It felt great to be a part of something bigger than myself, and I can tell you, if I'm ever chosen as a match, I am committed to seeing it all the way through. It is definitely worth it. All right, well, once again, quick break, and we'll come back for more. Welcome back to My Story. Thank you once again for joining us on this episode where we got to know a little bit more about little Samantha Servin and showed you how easy it is to register as a bone marrow donor. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two about this process, and the next time Dr. Shea and his team decides to hold another bone marrow drive, you'll be encouraged as well to come out and support. To Samantha and her family, we will keep you in our thoughts and prayers, and we thank you once again for taking time out to talk with us. We also want to thank Dr. Tom Shea and his team and St. John's School for organizing this bone marrow drive. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. From all of us here at My Story, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. I'm Janella Carrera. Good night.